Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlax here. Got another Master Duel video for you, and it's Monday, which means, of course, it is time once again for one of our weekly viewer specials. This is, of course, for those who are not aware, the weekly video series we do every Monday in which we honor you all, the viewers, and all the cool decks you're building and all the good games that you are playing. We are going to be watching some replays, some of those games here, but before we do that, we're going to, as always, start off by naming the winner of this week's Plex Leaderboard Challenge. So for those who are not aware of that, we do give out some weekly prizing in the Discord server just for subbing to Untapped, or downloading Untapped. You don't have to subscribe to Untapped, just downloading the Untapped companion and playing with that on there. So for this week, our winner is going to be Moriarty. Moriarty has been ranking up here in Plat with a 70% win rate, playing Memento. So very, very cool stuff to see a deck like Memento, which is considered fairly, lower tier and often down in Rogue there. But to see such a high win rate for both going first and going second is really, really cool. So congrats to Moriarty for winning this week. If you want more details of how you can enter and win this free prizing, here is how you can do that. To start, simply head down the description below. The top link there is going to be my affiliate link for the Untapped companion. It is a free download, and using this link will definitely help support the channel as well. And then below that, you can see the Discord invite link that I'm highlighting right here. Once you're in the Discord, you're going to want to go down to the Master Duel section here, and there is an entire channel where at the bottom called Plex Leaderboard Challenge, where you can not only find the rules and guidelines pinned, but you can submit the link to your Untapped profile. Your Untapped profile will allow me to see your win rate for every game you've had the Untapped companion open while you play Master Duel, as well as you yourself, of course. It will show you a lot of really interesting stats about your own games and the hundreds of thousands of games played in the meta overall. Okay, so now that we've explained that, let's go ahead and start looking at some of these replays here. But first, if you are interested in submitting replays for the viewer special, you can, much like the leaderboard challenge, do that by going down to the link below in the description that leads over to the Discord server. There's another channel in the server called Viewer Special Submissions. And the main bit of info I'll need you to put there is your 9-digit player ID. Of course, aside from that, you will need to make sure that any replays you want me to see are publicly saved. If they're not publicly saved, I am not able to view or feature them. Also, if you have more than one publicly saved replay, definitely helps to kind of point out whatever specific game you want me to watch by sharing either your opponent's name or the date and time of the game, or like a little screenshot. Little blurbs about the game, if you want to include that, also help. It could be as simple as I played this deck versus this deck. And, oh yes, if you have more than one replay to share, that is totally cool, as long as they are all different replays. The only thing I really ask is that you're not submitting the same game over and over again. We only feature a few games a week, so we can only get to so many people, but I do watch pretty much every single one that comes through, and I do try to make a point to feature some people who have never been on the viewer special before. So, yeah, if I didn't feature you this week, definitely keep submitting, and it should not be too long before you are able to get in there. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I've got to say. Let's look at our first game. Okay, our first submission comes to us from Toadette. You might have seen Best Toadette in chat on the streams. I really like the little cute name that we've got going on here. So we're gonna let's see. I think this game here should be against Meeps, and yes, we are gonna be seeing a game with Val Monica. Been quite interested to see this deck pull off its lines in action here. I've only played against Val Monica once, and it was just kind of me bullying them with Fire King. So, alright, looks like Meeps is on Pearly. So as we can see, this is going to be from a dual room, not necessarily a ranked ladder. I think somebody asked me that kind of recently, if you can submit games, or maybe it was just on the Discord or in the stream chat or somewhere. I remember seeing someone say, like, hey, can we do games that are against, like, friends and not on ranked ladder? Yeah, that's completely fine with me. It does not have to be a game that's necessarily on ladder. So we're going to start off by activating Val Monica, the agathococological voice, which this is actually a real word, funnily enough. And starting by adding some Val Monica cards, grabbing the Demono scale. I'm sure I'm butchering that. Placing the Angelo scale from deck to the, well, scale. Okay, similarly, Celtrice F to add Val Monica. Oh my god, so many fancy words in this archetype. So many words for me to butcher. Alright, so let's see. We've got the quick play spell here, grabbing another one of the penned scales and placing another in the deck. Now we get to pen to summon 2 more level 4s out, which is pretty cool. Oh, we have another one in hand, right, so we can summon this one too. Alright, so we'll take 5. I think that gives us another resonance counter, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we have 3. I know that's important, like, having 3 resonance counters on at least one of your scales, I'm pretty sure is like a thing that this archetype wants to do. Okay, we're making the IP, the IP, and then overlaying our Celtrices for Baguska. Yeah, I have kind of heard that turn 1 for this deck is like Baguska Turbo, but we made an IP as well, so... Alright, so Meeps is leading off with My Friend, revealing 3 copies of Purlily, of course grabbing one of those. Purlily coming down, knocking the effect naturally because of Baguska, but the Purlily rather is going to get linked off for Link Rebo all the same. Happy Memory activating here, we're going to chain the Max C, and then I'm going to fire off the IP as well, looks like here, so let us see what happens. We're going to link off IP, and only IP, to go for the Link 1 Zephyruba Val Monica, the Hallow Heavens. Interesting, a Link 1 that is completely generic, but you can't summon it unless you have 3 or more resonance counters. Oh, but they triple attack and stole it anyway. No! Meeps stealing our Val Monica Link 1 right as I was reading it too. To go for the SP. What is this? Hey, yeah, what does this card do? Will be destroyed by battle or card affecting you with your resonance counters for your pen zone instead. Quick affecting trigger one of your. Apply that card's activation effect. Okay. So it kind of lets you, sounds like it lets you use your Val Monica cards kind of as disruption here. Yeah, not a lot that Meeps was really able to do there. I guess mostly thanks to the Baguska. That Purlily is only once per turn, so even if Meeps had tried to summon Purley here, see, that's the thing, I think here, because I was wondering if maybe we should have used, Happy Memory. What happened with that Happy Memory anyway? Just kind of talking over and trying to read cards all at the same time. Let's see. Oh, Max C. That's why Meeps didn't make more plays, because we were under Max C. Got it. Okay, new field spell means we can grab another one of the Val Monica penned cards. We have 2 4s in hand already, and we can get a 4 from the extra deck as well. Alright, popping the face down per leap. Gonna activate the spell card to grab another one of those spell cards. Again, I only vaguely really know what's going on here. Like, what does this trap card do? Let's control Val Monica. Gain 500 to destroy a spell trap card. Take 500 then you can bounce. Okay, I see. So I do know that you gain the resonance counters by gaining or taking life points, and that all of the spell and trap cards kind of do either one or the other, right? Like this one. Actually, a lot of them seems like they do both. They have like 2 different effects. You can either gain or take, and then depending on what you choose, which makes sense, of course, being the like angel and devil on your shoulder archetype here. Ooh, okay. I haven't seen this one. Oh, this is the other Link one. This makes sense. Durulami, Val Monica, Heathen, Hallow. This one also very generic rank 1, Link 1 rather, but of course. You cannot leak summon this card unless you have 3 or more resonance counters on a fairy, so specifically on this one. What are we doing here? Leak summon, you can target your opponent's resonance counters or your pen zone, destroy them. Wow, that's actually pretty good. Remove 3 from your pen zone. This card can make up to 3 attacks. Wow, this one seems a lot better than the last one. And we're really just gonna smack Meeps for 7,500 with the Link one here for the game. Wow. So, I think this game definitely showed Val Monica's capability for being a rather good control deck. With the Baguska, of course, but also with a lot of the spell and trap cards and being able to use them at weird timings and all that kind of fun stuff. So, thanks very much to Toadette for showing us the Val Monica strategy. Of course, this deck does also have, I think, what is it, a Link 2 and a continuous trap card coming at some point in the future, so we'll definitely be on the lookout for those and see just how it improves this deck. Alright, Thank you again to Toadette. Let's see our next game here. Okay, so our next game comes to us from Firelich, aka Adelon over on the Discord server, who's going to show us a game with Pure Fire King. I actually had another Fire King variant game that I really wanted to show. I really wanted to see a duel with Fire King tri-brigade, but unfortunately, I think the person who submitted that typed in their ID wrong, because I copied and pasted. I tried typing it a couple of times and it just said that there was no one matching that ID. So that's another thing to please check your player ID and make sure that you're typing in the correct one. Apologies to that person, yeah, but I would definitely still like to see Fire King tri-brigade at some point. But Pure Fire King, also something I've been very interested in checking out, because I'm really only familiar with the Snake Eye variant. So speaking of Snake Eye, I believe we are playing against Fire King Snake Eye for this game. And I think they're also on a little bit of a horse package from what it sounds like. Now, the one thing, and I'm sure I have people ask me if I'm going to try out Fire King, like, pure. I will say the thing that holds me back from that is just how many more URs you need. I will need 2 more Ponixes, and also 2 more Garunixes, and also one of the old Garunix as well. So, I don't know. I'm not going to say I'll never play Pure Fire King, but it's not looking particularly likely. Unless I find the deck to be, like, particularly interesting, or it ends up standing out quite a bit. So, opponent led with Temple, which I generally don't think is right for Snake Eye to do, and then normal summon to Poplar. We're going to imperm the Poplar. I guess we're going to hedge here and see if that's their only play, but indeed looks like they do end up having the original sin. Then again, we also have Ash Blossom and Valor, so I said it was a hedge. It really wasn't. We have like so many negates. I think it was fine to imperm the Poplar there, because clearly, as we saw here, we did have the follow-up for their extender, so... but this is kind of the exact sort of situation of why I always point out Divine Temple when we're talking about Snake Eye, because this card is crucial to the Snake Eye strategy, and almost everybody I see on ladder misplays this card in some minor way. For example, our opponent here could have, instead of just placing Flame Bridge as their first action, you generally want to wait, and here in this situation where your plays are just stopped altogether, you could drop the Snake Eye Ash here, right, and then use that to kind of start up plays on your follow-up turn. Like, you could pull, when your opponent summons, you could pull out Snake Eye Ash and Ash Search Oak or something like that. Also could have made a Leak Reaver here, but that's relatively minor, so. Alright. Gonna summon the Ponix. They're gonna use Divine Temple for the Poplar here, valuing the search over the stats, which I don't think is a horrible thing. I would, well, I don't know. The thing is, though, if you pulled out Flambridge, you could still pull out Poplar by Flambridge's effect here as well. Grabbing another original sin, activating the Fire King Sanctuary, placing the field spell. I will say, though, like, even though our opponent is making some minor misplays, I don't really think it would change the circumstances that we're under right now. Garunix pop Kieran to summon back the Ponix, and then we're popping their field spell. Setting a card, moving to battle, battling over the Poplar, which is probably going to go back into the spell trap zone, I imagine, yep. And then the Ponix will attack directly. Main phase 2, we're going to link off the Ponix, looks like for our Link Karibo. Are we going to make an SP, I wonder? Let's see. No, we're just going to pass, okay. That makes sense, though, because we have the Skyburn face down, which is, definitely some pretty good disruption there. So they're going to lead original sins for the Snake Eye Ash. Ash F, we do have the Valor for that. It's going to come down right here. Alright, there goes the Ash getting negated, so not having to worry about that too much. King Sark, okay, here's where the Horus engine comes into play here. Pitching Hoppy, but we can chain the Skyburn and then pop the King Sark. This will not only, of course, prevent the Horus monsters from coming back, but it also, because it was destroyed mid-chain link, will stop the ability to send in general there, right? So, wow, second Divine Temple. That's pretty rare to see. Also Royal, very, very good looking. Oh, but no, your Ash effect is negated. Oh, but right, but we have the Flame Bridge. Wait. Oh yeah, we had another Poplar in there. I was like, did we have another level 1 fire in there? Okay. Looks like we're going straight for the Promethean Princess. No Hita. Looks like the Poplar is going to put Ash in the spell trap zone. Flambridge pulling out the... Or, sorry, Princess pulling out the Flambridge. Moving to battle. Garunix gets to come back here. Oh yeah, and then by popping Kieran, we can bring back the Rimbali and then pop a card in our opponent's field. Or is it Rindabali with an N? No, it's Rangabali with a G. I was totally screwing that up. Okay. Alright, Fire King Island F. Opponent's going to chain Flambridge on Snake Eye Ash. That's fine. Popping to add the Ponix. Ash F, Ponix F. Let's see. They're probably going to grab... We're probably just going to get a Poplar, right? And then just get Subversion, if I had to guess. Unless they're on a third Temple, which would be wild. I kind of can't believe they're even on two. I mean, I don't know. I understand Temple is a very, very good card, but in spite of how good it is, it's just not something you ever need more than one copy of. Interesting, so we're going to Skybird their Flambridge. Probably because they don't have 2 level 1s in the yard, if I do imagine, right? No, they do. They have Poplars. Okay, never mind. Or did they already use that effect this turn? No, they didn't. Okay, we're just, like, getting out of the way. Oh, duh, we have the call by, so we're just going to fire that off. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so Garunix coming back. Yep, Garunix F, popping the Ulcanix. Ulcanix F to grab the original Garunix, and then now we get to make the rank 8 here, right? Ooh, that's a nice animation. Actually, I haven't seen it yet. Beautiful. We get to pop every single spell and trap card on, or I mean, every monster on our opponent's field, as well as one of the Poplar, one of the back rows that Poplar placed there. Alright, passing over to our opponent, who is very much in top deck mode. We know they have a Subversion, but we do get this Ponix back, which basically means we have plays on our next turn, right? And of course, they have the Graveyard Original Sinful's Spoils as well. Second Oak, too, wow. Opponent's doubling up on a lot of the Snake Eye cards here, I guess, in the wake of the limits. And a Tier Limit card? Huh? Oh my god, this deck is all over the place. Is it Horus, Tier, Snake Eye? Wow. I don't know how they have room for all that. And the additional Snake Eye card at that, too. Alright, so Oak for Ash, Ash for Poplar, Poplar for Original Sin, I imagine is the only thing we have left to grab. Do we have another Flambridge in deck? It looks like we do. Alright, now Oak and Poplar are going to become Nightmare Phoenix. I'm really surprised we have not seen a Hida. That's baffling to me, frankly, but... Alright, there goes the... Oh, no. The Fire King Island is protected, of course, by the Sanctuary, which then procs our Garunix. Ah, I gotta read those new cards. You gotta read those new cards, opponent. Yeah, Fire King Sanctuary. That protection effect is actually extremely handy. I think I said in my primer video that, like, oh, I don't know how much the Fire King Sanctuary effects actually come up. But I totally did forget about Fire King Island's destroy all cards on your field effect, right? So... yeah, call by lingering, meaning that the Flambridge does not activate here. We get to Quick Xyz. That effect also coming up in this game. Wow. Going for our second Garunix Eternity to destroy all of our opponent's monsters. And that's going to leave them, yeah, really without anything to do. And a clear path to victory for us here. It's a simple matter of, oh, standby phase if we get back to Ponix. Main battle. And there we go. Alright, GG's, good stuff. Thank you, Adelon, for showing us this game with pure Fire King. Very, very nice to see other variants besides simply the Snake Eye one. So thank you again. We do have one more game to check out before we end off, so let's see that. Okay, so our final duel is going to come to us from Ben, aka El Simpfo, over on the Discord server, who has a duel, once again featuring some of the cards in the new pack. We're trying out Zark Pendulum with the newly added cards here. Also says, didn't get to bring out my Royal Supreme King, unfortunately. Was about to pop the trap card and summon it. Always gotta lament the missed opportunities to not show off some of the Royals there, but yeah, we got quite a few of the new cards here, looks like. It's the Gate Magician as well. Alright, Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon is going to end up grabbing the Supreme King Dragon Darkworm here. Dragon Shrine sending another copy of that. Darkworm F to summon itself back to the field. And then we get to add the Supreme King Gate Magician. Gonna throw that in our Pen Scale Pen effect, destroying it to place a Supreme King Gate from deck to the scale. Oh my goodness, trying to keep up with all these new card effects here. Okay, so this added this back to hand, and then immediately can synchro. I don't think we're electing to do that here. This we special summoned by sending, looks like the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon for extra to the yard. I see. And we get to add the, what is this? Hang on. Soul of the Supreme Celestial King. Tribute spellcaster pen with 25 more attack. Fusion summon 1 Zark by banishing the fusion materials above from the. Oh, okay. So that's kind of like the way that Zark got summoned in the anime, but just in a trap card. Got it. All right. So going for the Electromite to wheel back the Astrograph into our hand. Astrograph then being able to, of course, summon itself and grab, looks like another Supreme King Dragon Lightworm, linking off the Electromite and Zark, or not Zark, the card, the Celestial Magician. What's the name of it? It just got sent. Astrograph Sorcerer, that one, Jesus, okay. Promethean Princess making its way into this deck as well because Electromite is fire. That is a pretty nice bonus there. You're going to summon back the Astrograph, grab another Lightworm. We're going to link off Electromite and Astrograph once again, this time for our new Exceed the Pendulum card. Wheeling back the Lightworm, placing one of them as a scale, and then now we're going to Pen Summon. 0 to 8 means you can summon 1 to 7, which is going to be not only the Astrograph from the extra deck, as well as a couple of others as well, but also the Lightworms in our hand as well. Of course, the thing to remember about Pendulum Summoning is that you can only pen to summon from the extra deck into your extra zone, or to zones that a Link monster points to. So, normally, like, you might see pen decks normally extra deck summoning for 1, and I'd be wondering why they got 3 there. That's because you exceed the Pendulum's 3 downward pointing arrows. That's the one kind of leftover rule from Master Rule 4. Which, thank God, because Master Rule 4 is a lot of the reason why I quit the TCG in the first place, but... Yeah, of course we get the Vortex Dragon as well, setting the Soul of the Supreme Celestial King, and then passing over to our opponent. Barrier Statue of the Light's going to be the first card from them, but funnily enough does not stop us from summoning the Supreme King Gate Magician. Upstart and Upstart. I wonder, is this a stun deck? I wonder. It kind of seems like it is so far. Nadir Servant, that's going to get Ash Blossomed, so no Ecclesia for them. Decisive, yep, this is definitely stun. Decisive Battle of Gungadola, that's going to get Vortex Dragon. Time-Turning Morganite's totally fine. Oh, we're going to negate it anyway. I was going to say it's totally fine, because I almost wonder if it's like a bait. Like if they're trying to activate something else they really... Yeah, like this is Desires, I imagine what they really wanted to resolve here. Clockwork Knight is fine. I was going to say I don't think that really affects us at all. Battling into our IP, I imagine we don't really have anything to summon under the... Yeah, we don't really have anything to summon under the Barrier Statue, but it's really not even that big of a deal. Because we have more than enough damage here on board. Looks like they did end up finding a Dogmatica punishment anyway, but we of course have the Vortex Dragon to simply go ahead and negate that. It's always satisfying when you get to go first against stun and set up against them before they can set up against you. There we have it, finishing off with the Borreload there. Beautiful. Also that Royal Princess, I meant to point that out sooner. That's very, very nice looking. Very good stuff. Thank you very much, Ben, for that submission. And thank you to everyone for your submissions. As always, as ever, it is super duper appreciated because this series here could not be possible without you all submitting the games. And I really like that we get to show off decks that either I don't have time to play or I don't have like all of the crafting materials in the world to be able to build like every single deck. So very, very cool stuff. GG's everyone. And as always as ever, if you were not able to get featured this week, there is always the next week and the next week and the next week. So, all right, that'll do it. Let's move on now to our outro. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. That means a lot to me. It's also a great way to support the channel, so thank you very much in that way as well. If you're interested in supporting the channel in other ways, like the very special patrons that I am thanking here, you can do so by checking out some of the links in the description. One of those goes to the Patreon, where you can join these fine folk and support the channel that way. I do post daily content over on Patreon, so you do get something for supporting there. And if you're interested, I also have a coaching tier option as well. Details again will be on Patreon in the link below. Also in the description linked below is my Twitch page where I stream a few times a week. You can go ahead and check that out, follow or subscribe over there if you ever want to catch me live. You'll also find my second YouTube channel if you feel like subscribing over there to watch some of the Twitch VODs as well as some additional non-Yu-Gi-Oh related content that I make over there. Again, any of those links you want to check out is all a great way of supporting. But again, even if you don't do that, just watching was also a fantastic way to support. And once again, I have to thank you so very much. But in any case, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out, and I'm hoping you have a fantastic day.